at you.
Yes.
You know to do.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We
We
had some fun questions come up. We're always happy to sing the praises, of course, of Steamboat Stars. But I want to give you some context. We are a Colorado-based family. We live in northern Colorado. Our county made news this last week. So more people might geographically know where my town is now. We live in a town called Loveland. We are considered northern Colorado. We are not too far from Fort Collins, which most people know, CSU. Even closer to Rocky Mountain National Park, or Estes. A lot of people, very, very touristy part of Colorado. Of course, it's the gateway to our beautiful Rockies. But we are a family that, well, really, we can't sit still. So Dugans be tripping. Lots of meanings there. But we do a lot of road trips. I changed it during I think the pandemic, because we were driving a lot to Arizona. My parents live in Arizona, so we were going a little stir crazy, of course. And the other piece of it is Kaelyn. Kaelyn is my daughter. She has a diagnosis of cerebral palsy and a few other things, but her primary diagnosis is cerebral palsy. She has the type, because there's all different types of CP that impacts all 4 limbs. So try to say quadriplegia 4 times fast. I feel like it's a mouthful. She also has the type of cerebral palsy. I feel like it's mixed nowadays, but on medical paperwork, which we have too much of, it's spastic. So on any given day, her body could look drastically different. We actually get a lot of questions on that side, but she does primarily use a wheelchair for mobility. She does not walk independently, but we are a big fan of mobility aids, and we bring those to camp. But I wanted to share, outside of a little reintroduction to our family and why we're always tripping. We've got family scattered all over the place, of course. We've met friends from all over the place because we've done a lot of intensive type therapy. But we're in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, for another week of camp, and each of their weeks are themed. We're really, really bummed that we missed their Western themed camp, because Kaelyn loves to ride horses, and it is really, really good for her hips and that spasticity side of RCP. It's tough. It's really, really challenging with a teenager that, I mean, she is nearly as tall as her mama, but I will show you, I'm not that tall. I am standing up in a Toyota Sienna. So besides for my hair always being a mess, I'm not very tall. I'm 5 foot. I'm taller than Simone Biles. I'm working on my muscles. But let's show you what we bring in summer camp. Life vest. We actually have a couple different types of life vests, but for just paddling and kayaking and kind of putzing around on the lake, we're not on a boat. We have a really bright colored, super fun, just a standard life vest. Kaelyn has a lot of sensitivities to soaps and skins and lotions. So we don't put sunblock on her face. That seems to be the most sensitive to all of the creams, but we do on her legs. So hat is always a must. We actually have a waterproof hat because this one's fallen apart a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I just saw me today.
We've got a couple different pairs, just Amazon brand of like water shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Fans, although we don't really need them in Steamboat. You just never know.
Yeah, are you like...
It's a Sunny, slightly overcast
Oh no.
in the distant 75 degrees here in Steamboat. We could not do this in 95, 90 plus degree weather. She's really, really sensitive to the heat. She also has a history of seizures. So in this little pouch, I've seen a lot of really cute ideas on like back to school. We love anything with clips. We actually have a few of these where school's always losing them, but she has a device in her chest, and that's, I feel like people comment on her scars, which I feel like is a weird thing to do, but she does, that's what the scar is on her neck.
Yeah.
And her VNS device. It's just like, we used to call it her pocket watch, but this just clips on to her chair wherever she goes. She also has one clipped on to her backpack in case she's taken out of her chair.
Yeah.
And all they do is they clip this to her life vest.
Yeah.
It's just basically a big old magnet, guys.
Okay.
So if she were to have a seizure, they can swipe it essentially, and it sends a little bit of current because it's connected to the vagus nerve. Yeah, vagus nerve. And it should, in theory, right, disrupt seizure activity. So that's that. We're gonna clip that back. Some of the other things that we have learned over the years, I mean, aside from lots of fluids, liquids, is adaptive backpack. Adaptive movements is still giving stuff away, guys. Lots of towels, of course. We actually take one of the cushions off of her wheelchair seat, and we have something that is a little bit more waterproof. Change of clothes, so in case she wants to be dry and not all wet. And of course, snacks. Lots of snacks. Kaelyn is a big snacker. I think we're a big snacking family. She really likes these little crates from Costco. Lots of pouches. Great way to get some protein if your kids will tolerate those pouches. But she's got some friends that also love helping her eat some of her snacks. She's got really good grasp on her left side. Her right side is more impacted, so you'll notice a lot of things. It appears like she's doing them one-handed. Yeah, she is. Don't get me wrong, we work on righty all the time in therapy. We work on both, but we also encourage her to be as independent as possible. And sometimes that just means that she doesn't use righty. And we're not gonna spend years making her frustrated when she can get the job done with lefty. That's just us. Righty. Oh, the other thing, which is a game changer, if you have a kiddo, and oftentimes neuro kiddos, any neurological disorder, sorry I'm so, is the other thing. Think about when you go hiking and you're in a cold lake. Who likes to not have freezing feet? I honestly don't like for my feet to feel soggy in socks. I think it's just like a sensory thing. I'm getting a lot of things that did not bother me in my youth are more bothersome as an adult. So I would highly recommend, let me clip this on so we don't lose her. Arguably one of her very important pieces of equipment. Her little clippy. But the other thing that I need 2 hands for that. But these are neoprene socks. And yes, you can get them in kid sizes. Kaelyn's kind of got long, skinny feet. So we're gonna put, we call these her water socks. We're gonna put these on, and we also have, I guess we use her stretching AFOs, so she wears them at nighttime just to get a little stretch, but they're a softer AFO, not as rigid. And boopy boop. These work with those AFOs. These would probably leave marks, and we certainly wouldn't want to use them in her AFOs that she uses for standing and gait training. But these make a big difference with her feet.
The window.
And I honestly, we had a little incident. They're usually really, really good about this. But she got sprayed with sunblock.
Yeah.
At a previous summer camp, and she had a little bit of a reaction. I almost made a shirt that said, please don't spray me with sunblock, or I'm allergic to sunblock. But she is very, very sensitive to certain ingredients, and of course with any allergy, we were living in Arizona at the time, and she was very young, and we're like, oh my god, what is happening to my baby? A little bit more dramatic. We honestly, it happened at like a fair or something, and we're like, is this from the camel? Camel kissed her, and we didn't know what was going on, but it was a little dramatic. So we don't want to go through that again. But these are, I'm trying to think of what else I think that for the most part is it.
Yeah, and so
for a week of like water activities. That's what's in our bag.